output, cross-site scripting. So let me get back to the server. I'm going to restart the server by cleaning the database and running the server again. Right, and this time I'm going to send another entry to the journal, and I'm going to have a look at it. Where was it? Here, right? And I've been pawned. Right, so I'm getting some kind of a JavaScript running on my machine, and I'm seeing this is my third entry by G. And if you look at the 3.json, we see that someone crafted a JavaScript code inside the message, and we're directly returning it from the database and showing it to the user. And when we look at our code, right, we have this template for the HTML, and again, %s. And when we do the last handler, we just use sprintf to construct it and then show it. So also, you're starting to get the idea that sending data out with printf is probably not a good idea. We need to talk about structure to do it. And the solution for this one is, of course, using HTML template. There are two templating libraries in Go. There's both text.template and HTML.template. And the only difference is that HTML.template is doing all this sanitation for you. So it will wrap the curly braces and make sure that whatever you're sending out is going to be without all these hacks inside. But again, nothing is safe. There might be even bugs there. So every time you are presenting someone to other users that another user entered, this is probably something you should look into. We will talk about tooling a bit later. So I'm answering your question. Sensitive data exposure. This is one of the biggest mistakes you can make. So if your server crashes, your user won't mind that much. And if you're leaking some of your API keys to somewhere, and you need to pay a lot of money to AWS to fix that, that's still fine. If you're going to leak your customer data outside, that will cost you in customer royalties, in harm, there's a lot of things. So you should really try not to do that. And sensitive data exposure can come in two ways. One way is what we do here, right? So we get an error, or we get an error from the database, and we just send it out to the client, which in one way, it's very easy for us, right? Because I just got an error from the database and sending it to the client. Now, if the client complains about an error, I can ask them, can you show me the error? And we'll probably have some good information for me about where the problem was and how can I help. On the other hand, there's no control of what I'm sending outside. I might be sending user IDs, personal information, API keys. I don't know what's going out in this error. So every time you do this, and this is something, this is the really easy way to do it, but you need to be aware that you're sending sensitive data out. Another problem that we have on this line, which is if you're coming from other languages, this is easy to miss, but HTTP.error is just a function call. It's not an exception like if you're working with Python or other frameworks, which means that the code will continue running. And apart from the error, you will probably send some other data that might be not what you want. Okay, so you always need to remember that after HTTP.error comes a return. And I haven't seen any linting tool that does that, but make sure that you do it manually when you're doing code reviews and other things. Another form of sensitive data is this kind of data. right? So grep.app lets you run regular expressions on GitHub. And if you are looking for AWS secret access key, you will find some inside GitHub for you to use. Okay, and I know companies that, especially inexperienced developers, without even thinking about it, they do it. And I'm consulting with a company of young for developers. They don't have the experience. And first thing I came in, all the API keys, everything was just right there in the code for everyone to see. So again, culture, education, you need to teach people about that and make sure that this is not happening. And also you need a policy to what happens when data is exposed. So for keys, do you have a policy about how to revoke them? Can you quickly revoke some keys? Right, I worked at the company, someone did I asked him, okay, I need some API key. Let me think how you can send it to me. And he said, no problem, and just typed it inside Slack. And then we told him, now go and revoke that. And we did. It was still at the young phase of the company, so he had to manually go around and revoke this key, which was annoying. So pay attention to what you do and think about how you deal with secrets, either with the good old PGP, Vault, or maybe other solutions that you have.